Well, Amanda put a smile on her face. We'll actually do the intro. All right. Welcome to You've Been Served. So this is the podcast that we have going via Next and Network for Serve Digizine. And this is going to be this is the editorial.
Can we just cut that and start way over?
Go for it.
No. You just had a lot of ahs.
I'm like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say?
We should leave that. We should leave all this in.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Are you done playing with your?
Now you're really green.
Maybe I should put this here, so I'm not.
There, Amanda. Nope, not there. What are you adjusting?
Hold on.
You know, you could just dim your screen, right?
Yeah.
I tried that, Kimosabi. It didn't work. How's that?
Really good.
That's good. Yeah. What'd you do?
I made you guys smaller so that it wasn't so much green with Bree, and then I changed the background on my computer to just bright white.
Gosh, you're so smart.
So smart.
So smart. Wicked smart. Wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
All right, everybody. All right, you ready? All right, let's go. Hey, welcome to You've Been Served. This is the Served podcast that we release monthly, multiple times per month now, right? We're stepping our game up. Before this started off as just a Served recap, but now we're stepping our game up, and we're actually releasing this as a podcast for our editorial. So Served this month, the theme is what? What is it, people?
Ignite your passion.
Oh, ignite your passion.
It's ignite your passion. Yep, there we go. And we're a passionate group of people, aren't we? We're all very passionate, right? So we're gonna take just a few minutes. We're gonna talk about our passion and why the heck Mike and Bree decided to follow Amanda on this crazy journey that we call First Taste TV, from the show floor, Serves, and Next and Network, and all that. So this is really about you two. Like, Amanda and I shouldn't even be here right now. We want to learn all about Mike Mang and Brianna Gustafson. So, ladies first, Mike.
So
Bree.
I can go first, but I just want to say that your passions, both of you and Amanda, have a passion for child nutrition and telling the stories in child nutrition, and so do I. So for me, it wasn't easy, but following something that I love to do made it easy to jump ship from my job from Lee County Schools as the marketing person in food service to do this, where I can continue to tell these awesome stories all over the country and talk about it all the time, whether it's through podcasts, Digizine, First Taste TV. I mean, it's a dream come true. So
it is. And it's interesting. Like, we always we don't really joke about it, but we've talked about it a few times. You both left your full-time jobs to come work for us.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing I've ever done.
So crazy. So
Bree,
why?
I'll never forget when you were putting in your notice at the county, and I called Marlon and I was like, "Is she sure about this? Like, are we sure about this? Like, it was a huge step. It was a huge responsibility to us. It was a huge accolade, I mean, to everything that we were doing, that we could bring you on full time. And, we're just committed to having the best team on the planet. And we definitely have that with you two. Well, mostly Bree, but
that's just a joke, people. We always tease Mike about Bree. We pit them against each other, which probably isn't good leadership, Amanda. We shouldn't
have done that. Healthy competition, Marlon. Yeah. Healthy competition. But it was a huge responsibility, Marlon, what were you feeling that day when Bree put in Bree, all right, you start. Tell us what was going through your head when you said, I'm going to leave my secure, beautiful, wonderful job and go work for these two bozos.
Before you answer that, the way I felt, my thoughts was, it's about time. That's what I thought. I've been chasing Bree for the past 2 years. Let's go. Let's do this.
So for me, it was a lot of back and forth. I didn't know. I mean, I was leaving a good, secure job. I had an awesome job all through COVID that I still loved at the end. For me, it was easy. I met Marlon like 2.5 years ago. He was my meal viewer rep. And I met you, Amanda, at a show in Vegas. And I flew in for a pre-con on how to market your program. So for me, it was like, I did. And then
was I leading that conference?
You were. Yeah. You and Stephanie.
Oh, yeah. And Sean Sacco from Florida.
Yeah,
okay, I remember that.
It was a no-brainer. I was like, if I'm going to take a chance, like 2020 was already a crazy year. So if I'm going to take a chance, jump ship, leave my job, I'm going to do it with people who I know are passionate, and look at us. We're making it work somehow.
So Mike, tell us about your introduction, your reintroduction back to school food.
Wait. I want to tell you guys about my introduction to the Mike Bang. This is what Marlon says. Now, anyone who knows
Marlon, what did I say?
He's a collector. I call him like a collector. He likes to collect people. He loves people, and he loves making connections and relationships, and that's what makes him so charming. Aww. But he says all the time, like, oh, I'm friends with this person, and like this person's my best friend, and this person's my best friend. And he was like, so I've got my best friend. And I was like, yeah. Like, all right, this is number 37 that I've heard of, right? So I'll never forget, we were on this call, and he was driving from like one place to another. And I just had to go into full beast mode about something that was so crazy. And I was like, Marlon, at the end, make sure Mike doesn't think I'm a crazy person.
I remember that.
So worried about you not liking her, Mike.
Mike, you were like the guy to impress when he finally explained to me that you aren't his best friend, like you're his brother, and he's godfather to your kid,
right,
you know.
Versa.
But it just seemed to me like, what do you mean your best friend used to work for Home Shopping Network, and that's what we're talking about doing? I mean, was that just like a mind-blowing connection for you too?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, because I've known Marlon for 13 years. We met through not mutual. He was working at a store and
GameStop. I was a GameStop manager, people.
Yeah.
Did you buy any stock? Have you seen what that stock's been doing?
Crazy.
No.
It's really crazy. But so I met him there, and that was 13 years ago. And we kind of kicked it off. And, for those people out there that may not necessarily believe when Marlon says that he cares about people and that he wants to make a difference, he really does. And that's like the biggest reason why I decided to join on the team, is because, I'm, like I've told him before, I'm 38, not getting any younger, but I've always wanted to take a step out to do something that's kind of risky. But when he told me the idea of what he wanted to do, in my experience with HSN and kind of what we did with First Taste TV, it was a perfect fit. And I just knew that with Marlon's passion and his drive and everything, I just knew that, I couldn't go wrong. So that's why I decided that, if I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to take a risk with my best friend and make it work.
That was sweet.
That's touching. We were talking the other day. It's so weird to think about the fact that we became best friends over playing video games.
Yeah.
We played video games together every single night.
Still do.
We try to now. We try to.
You guys are so lucky you found women to love you.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, at least they know where we are. We're sitting on the couch playing video games, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, and that was a huge ordeal, just getting our wives to be friends.
Yep.
Because our wives, like, they didn't fight it, but they're kind of, I wouldn't say they're shy, but Mike and I put in some serious work to get them to hang out and be friends.
Make it happen.
And now they're like besties. They just want to be together all the time, which is awesome.
Now we're a big happy family. But this is going to sound cheesy, but I feel like passion is our power. Like, as a company, as who we are, that's our fuel. Like, that's how we're able to do the crazy things that we're doing. Like, it fuels our desire to innovate and to serve. And we, like, Amanda and I could not have done what we're doing without a team like you guys to support us. I mean, you guys do all the hard work.
No, I think we're a really strong team.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think it makes it work. I mean, it is like a family. When Marlon says that you're my family, he really means it. And like for me, I'm not one of those people that's, you know, out and about, and I'm kind of an introvert. And so like Marlon is a polar opposite for me. And you know, you hear, I've heard rumblings of people not knowing exactly how Marlon is. What Marlon says is actually how he is. And Amanda, same thing, very caring, you know, willing to help, she's always there. I mean, what you see is what you get. So that's why I think our team is so strong. We are like a family, and we do care.
Yeah. I think in order to be successful, you have to be passionate about the right things. And as long as you're passionate about the right things, the success, the money, like all that other stuff will come, as long as you're doing good things for people and you're feeling it with your passion. This is how I've always been with my relationships, with my work, with sports, with all that stuff. It's all about passion.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is, like, you know, I have kids, Marlon has kids, Amanda has kids, Bree not yet, but we all have kids, and like what we're doing is taking what I never would think that K-12, you know, in my mind, you're thinking to yourself like, oh, well, it's just a status quo, keep it how it is. But the innovative things that we're doing, everything makes sense. And it's only going to further K-12, and it's a cool thing, especially with all of us having kids. That's why our passion is what it is.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of those manufacturers, a lot of the operators out there, they're equally as passionate as we are about what they do. I mean, Amanda, being a food service director, feeding during COVID, and even before that, like, you have to have some real passion to do what you do and to do it so well.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the weak of heart. Not for the weak. It's a challenge. It's just like any other job out there, but we get to be of service to our tiniest community members. And that's a beautiful thing, to have relationships with students and to see them and to be nurturing them through food and educating them and being a part of their culinary education, what they're eating and how they're eating is a really humbling experience. We recently came back to in-person learning, and I just walked around while I was substituting for a school district. They hate it when I come by because I have lots of questions. But I just walked by each classroom, and while we were dropping off Cambros full of lunches, just saying how grateful we were to see their faces. We truly are a team of passionate people. My two passions in life are food and kids. I love kids. I love specifically my tiny tots. But I have over 3,500 kids that I affect with my decisions. And, you know, each of my managers affects their kids in their school. I mean, that's a pretty awesome responsibility. And it's something that we take great pride in what we do. So it's a beautiful thing. But I just want to talk about our team for a second and the first display of passion. And the first display of passion that we saw was the first like big challenge that we came up against. And we had a deadline and a customer who we had to get it done by a specific day. And I've never felt more proud of the people that are in this box than when we all hopped in and took a piece of the pie and had multiple computers running and trying to process things, and basically pretty much pulled an all-nighter just to get it together. And it's not that we pulled the all-nighter because we had to get it done by the morning. We pulled the all-nighter in the beginning half of the week because we knew we had so much to get done. And had we not done that, we would not have met our deadline because of other things that went wrong. So us having that foresight and not pushing it off to the last minute was incredibly empowering. And that's what I think I fell in love with both of you. Like truly that deeply, you know. Yeah. It was that they were in it with us, right, Marlon? Is that how you felt?
Yeah, I remember having a conversation with you just late one night. Amanda you were up way too late working, and I got a little bit big brother of Shawnee. I was like, you shouldn't be doing this. You need to go home and go to sleep. But yeah, so that was our first real test, and like I always knew that we had, you know, a 5-star team, like 10-star team. Like we were passionate about what we did and hard workers. But this was our first test, and when that happened, and everybody just like there was zero complaints. There was no negativity. We had a ton of work to get done, and everybody just dove in and got it done. And we worked so well together. And I think that's because we have similar passions, similar goals, and like we all want to. Yeah, the same goal. So we're always
on the same road.
Yeah, we're working together, right? Yep. And that's what we did. And I've told multiple people this. I was like I love my team. I was like, you could stack us against anybody out there, and we're gonna come out on top just because I know how dedicated you guys are, and it's an honor to work with both of you. And then Melissa Mayer, and then we have Matt Mayer out there too. DJ from Haji Studios stepping in and helping out. Like our team is amazing. Jennifer Savasta, our newest team member. Like
we love you, Savvy.
Yeah, it's family, and we all share the same goals. We're all passionate. And but yeah, that first test I was like, all right, like this is it. Amanda and I made the right decision.
I'm glad that is behind us. That we
sorry, just to go back to what you were saying, Amanda, about like what you're doing with COVID and everything. I wanted to bring up my son goes to Odessa Elementary. Shout out Odessa Elementary. And he was telling me he came home twice telling me that going through the lines that they were commenting to him that he was like the best eater. For whatever reason, it resonated with him and he like loved it. And he always talks about, I mean, he literally came home 2 times telling me about how much he enjoys the lunch and going through when the lunch lady's talking to him out of anything in the whole day. So
shout out to Linda Osuba and her team at Odessa Elementary, Pasco, Florida.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, it makes a difference.
Yeah. And Bree, like you've been always passionate about storytelling, and that video that you posted the other day with the black and white video with Lee County.
Yeah.
Oh, that was epic.
That was actually a passion project that wasn't supposed to launch during COVID. Me and a teacher, Mr. Mark Drew from Ida Baker High School, he is incredible. And him and I talked about doing some kind of school lunch piece before the coronavirus. And he had recorded that. And then COVID happened and we never got to edit it together or make the music video that we were working on. And I was like, you know what? There's no better time than now to launch this. And we gathered all the footage and I put that soundtrack underneath and off it went. And it's raw. It's emotional to watch.
Yeah, it really was. I think Mike cried when he saw it.
Yeah.
You did.
Mike and I cried together.
No, for me, child nutrition is a passion because I fell into it. But really the passion is telling a story in a creative and interesting way and having an impact on my community. That's my passion.
Yeah. Well, everybody, as you can tell, we are all super passionate about what we do. We're passionate about you guys. We're passionate about Served. And just thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this podcast / editorial. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll see you guys next time.
Such an awkward goodbye.
So I feel like that was long,